Hi, I'm Andy, a collection specialist at Credit Sage, and my goal is to help people learn how they can remove receivable management services from their credit report. And this is in many cases without paying their debt at all. So if that's you or someone you know, then I'm confident that you're going to walk away from this video knowing what the next best step is to take. Now, this doesn't mean that you shouldn't take action. For example, if you know or you believe that receivable management services or any of the accounts on your credit report are the result of identity theft or have a wrong balance after you've already paid, or any major issues that are seriously affecting your life, you may be owed a settlement. And we work with a network of local attorneys that will work on your behalf at zero cost, win or lose, in addition to getting the accounts deleted from your account. So if no issues like that exist and you just simply want to get the accounts deleted permanently, then we can help with that too. Just give us a call, and our number will be in the description below. But what I want to do in this video is I want to go through some of the most important questions that we get about this company. And the first one here I think is really important, and that is, can you be arrested or earn jail time for a debt with receivable management services? Now, the reason I put this one at the top of the list is because, we get a lot of callers that are terrified that this could happen, and it makes sense. Few people are really taught how credit and debt work in school. I didn't know the answer to this question until I got into the business. And unfortunately, unless the debt is related to specifically unpaid taxes or unpaid child support, you cannot be arrested or get jail time. So there's no need to worry about that. The amount of the debt doesn't matter either. You could refuse to pay $1,000 or $1 million and you will not be arrested or get jail time. So, which takes us to the next question. Who is Receivable Management Services and why are they on your credit report? So, basically they're referred to as a debt collector or credit collection agency. And what they do is they buy debts, unpaid accounts, like credit cards, for example, often for very cheap. And then they try to collect the full amount. Okay, here's an example. Let's imagine for a moment that, for whatever reason, you have an unpaid card with Capital One, and it's $1,000. Receivable Management Services could, in theory, come along and buy that debt, but just for $100. Now, they don't try to collect that amount. They try to collect the full $1,000 from you, which would give them a 10x return on their investment. So yeah, these companies can make a lot of money. And damaging your credit score by reporting the debt to your credit report is the primary strategy they have to get you to pay. However, what many people don't know is that paying a debt on your credit report does not remove the account attached to it. That account will sit there for 7 years, damaging your score, paid or not. So a lot of time, paying isn't actually in your best interest, and it really could just be a waste of money. Now, in rare cases, paying the debt can even hurt your score further. But in addition to credit reporting, they may send scary letters, call a lot, even calling your family members and colleagues. If a collector has ever threatened you or harassed you during non-business hours, you may be owed a lawsuit. So again, that's another case that you want to give us a call so we can connect you with a local specialist that will take action quickly. Next question here is, should you negotiate a settlement with Receivable Management Services? Well, so settling your debt with Receivable Management Services, I always say, depends on your goal. Typically, if you're wanting to improve your credit score, paying isn't the best option. And why is that? Because, as I mentioned before, even if you pay the collection, it will remain on your credit report for 7 years, damaging your score that whole time. Now, instead, we always recommend that you work with an expert like us to review these accounts for you. And if certain issues exist, the accounts may be removed. And this is a win-win. Right? You won't have to waste money paying a debt that won't ultimately help your score, and the negative account gets removed from your report. So it's perfect. How do you remove Receivable Management Services from your credit report? So the Fair Credit Reporting Act gives every person the power to challenge information on their report. Now, I will say that the knowledge required to do this is a bit more involved than it might seem. Now, that's not to say that you shouldn't learn how to do it, but just be prepared. You may spend weeks, maybe months learning how to do it properly. However, if you hire a professional to handle it for you, you can ensure that it'll be done properly the first time and save you the extra time. Well, we're happy to take care of it. We've dealt with receivable management services accounts many times, and I'll just say they regularly have issues. And we've helped numerous clients deal with them. And we'll take care of it for you as well if you prefer. Let's see here. How can you get receivable management services to stop calling you? Yeah, as I mentioned before, receivable management services calling you is their attempt to collect the debt they've purchased, which ultimately means that the only reason they'll stop calling you is if you settle your debt with them, or you work with a company like ours to potentially have them removed from your report altogether. The next question here, will receivable management services try suing or garnishing my wages? Another scary thought, right? I'll put it this way. Receivable management services suing is unlikely. It can and does happen, but in our experience, it's rare. And the reason is that there's just a lot of laws around how long they can sue for, what they can do if they win. It's a long process. However, if we're able to find certain issues with the account, they won't be able to collect at all, which is another benefit of using an expert. What are my rights when dealing with receivable management services? Okay, well, I love this question. You have the right to dispute any of your debt that Receivable Management Services has purchased. Okay, Receivable Management Services is governed by the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, or FDCPA, and as I mentioned before, the Fair Credit Reporting Act. These acts can seem very complicated. I get it. But really, they provide a great deal of power to the consumer if you know how to use them properly. Now, if you don't have time to research these acts, I don't blame you. That's what we're here for. It's not a problem. Give us a call today. We can discuss your options. Again, our number is in the description area below. And with that, thank you so much for watching.